TradeYa.
Thank you very much. My name is Jared. I'm the CEO. This is Jaime, our amazing CXO and co-founder, and we are TradeYa. So this is Amy. Amy is a really successful blogger, but she's not technical at all. You know, she doesn't know how to code, and she's not a designer. So she ends up needing a lot of help with her website. She also has a 5-year-old, and like basically everybody with a 5-year-old, she has a whole garage full of stuff that is, you know, perfectly good, but her kid doesn't use anymore, it's whatever. This is Jeff, and Jeff, as you can see, has a 2-year-old, and Jeff is constantly needing new kid stuff, right? He's just new strollers, new toys, new everything. Jeff also is a WordPress designer, and he can solve Amy's problem like this, right? No problem, really easy. Now, wouldn't it be amazing if there was a place online that they could go to meet up and kind of unlock this stored value that each of them has? Well, as it turns out, right now, there's not a great place for that. There's lots of places they can both go to sell stuff, right? There's Craigslist, really efficient for selling. They could go to buy and sell unique stuff, I guess. TaskRabbit for services, really awesome micro tasks. Amazon, so frictionless. But nobody has made a totally frictionless environment for this kind of magical transaction called trading, where you simultaneously get something that you want and get rid of something that you don't want. So we have built an alpha to do just that, and it's really easy. Let me show you how it works. So you click on Submit a TradeYa, and then you can enter in what you have. Right? You can description, the title, you can put in a photo, or you can make a short video right from the site to kind of pitch your services. And then you can put in what you want in exchange. So in Jeff's case, you know, he wants baby stuff. If he wanted other stuff, he could put in multiple items, or he can say, I just want stuff in specific categories, like electronics, gadgets. And then you get this TradeYa page. And on this page, it's a permalink, and so he can Facebook it, he can tweet it, or he can just wait for people from the TradeYa community to come and make him an offer. So we've had an alpha up for a couple months, and we've had a bunch of trades. It's been really exciting. Let me just tell you about some of them. So one guy traded this pair of Beats by Dre headphones for an Apple TV. That was pretty straightforward. Another guy, one of our members, has this epic vacation house in Mammoth, and he traded a 3-night stay at that vacation house for an epic barbecue feast. This guy came to his house and cooked this huge barbecue feast for he and all his friends. My favorite one, though, was this girl had an extra ticket to Burning Man. And what she really wanted in exchange was someone to help her meet a really, really great guy. So, you know, what we've seen already with TradeYa is that people understand this, they know how to do it, and they know that they have all of this value that's kind of locked that maybe isn't so easy to monetize, but really is valuable, and they want to be able to transact with each other, and they kind of already know how to do it. So how will we make money? We're following the lead of the other big marketplaces, eBay, Amazon, Craigslist, and so we have transaction fees. We'll probably do that kind of like Craigslist on a limited number of categories. Marketplace services, like margin on shipping and insurance. And then as we scale, we have kind of a unique advertising opportunity in that our users are telling us exactly what they want. So we can target ads to them based exactly on what they want. And then last but not least, pro features. So for power users, a pro feature set that just gives them more tools. So a lot of our advisors, as we were going along, said we were going to have this chicken and egg problem, right? How are we going to get users if we have no inventory? How are we going to get inventory if we have no users? Well, what we found, gladly, is that we have about 3,000 users right now. And with just 3,000 users, we already have an 80% completion rate, meaning when people come onto our site and they actually post something to trade, about 80% of the time they end up completing a transaction. And so we see that even though we're still really, really small, we're already creating a lot of value for our user base, and we anticipate that continuing as we grow. We also have found that we've had a pretty easy time of getting people excited about this. So from a user acquisition perspective, with Facebook ads, Google and Twitter ads, we've been able to acquire users for less than 50 cents each. So that in combination with a little bit of press, and we have some celebrities who agreed to come and do trades on the site, we think that we can start to grow that critical mass in a pretty straightforward way. And last but not least, we're building an iPhone app that will allow you to take a picture of something and upload it to the site in just a couple of clicks, and we'll be releasing a limited marketplace in August. Thank you so much. Questions?
I'll go first, actually. You guys didn't mention it, but I'd like to know, and I know maybe why you avoid getting into it, because it's not germane to exactly the pitch if someone's going to say invest in your business.
Yeah.
What's the economic and green type impact, if any, of people purchasing new versus trading something?
Yeah, totally. Well, I mean, it's a waste-free environment, right? So there's like, it's the remnant inventory basically issue, meaning the unused inventory that might go to a landfill can be turned into value, and also just regular people who have unused time and extra stuff. You know, everybody there's 7 times as many storage spaces in the United States as there are Starbucks, right? So there's a huge amount of unused stuff that people really want to get value from, and currently have not a really efficient way to do that.
They can store coffee. Feedback? It's just that good.
How do you size the market here? Like, I can see the use case of sometimes wanting to trade for a service, but that seems super tiny to me. Like, is this a big idea, or is this like an idea that sort of lives in a niche that certain hackers and people that sort of have a lot of goods in their corner and like to trade, and 100,000, 10,000 people use it, or do you think it's much bigger than that?
Well, so here's the statistic. There's 46 million searches on Google every month for barter swap keywords, disambiguated. So, and then there's 185,000 postings in the barter section of Craigslist every month also. So we see that at the very minimum, there's that market, that people who already know that they want to do it and are actively looking for ways to do it online. So we think it's really a monstrous idea. We think that there's an eBay-sized hole in the market.
How much are you guys looking to raise?
We're raising 500 seed round right now. We're a little over halfway through that.
Do you have any idea how much it's going to cost to capture customers through this platform, just to retain and bring in new people?
Yeah, it's about 50 cents a user is what we're getting from direct ad traffic. We're able to capture users and retain them for about 50 cents.
So for the platform to scale to the point that it could be sustainable at some level, how many users would you need?
I mean, that's a really tricky question, right? Because it depends on the viral multiplier and all kinds of stuff. But our near-term goal is 50,000. We think that at 50,000 that are relevant to each other, we'll start to see meaningful outward spread.
So just by contrast, I don't know if you use Zarly. Zarly's kind of a shimo barter thing. They spend a ton of money on marketing and trying to just get the brand out there. Because the brand, actually, I think you got a great URL. I think the TradeYa is a great term, so I think you've got a good shot with that. But marketing is probably going to be a big expense to get this out, unless you do something special, crazy, interesting. So do you have any ideas on how to really build a brand?
Yeah, totally. So we've started to engage celebrities and bloggers to come and trade on the site and to promote it to their audience, also brands. And we've gotten a lot of success with that, surprisingly enough. We have like 30 people in that celebrity brand and blogger group who have signed on to start trading. So they promote to their audience, they come on and make some kind of trade.
And what is that costing you?
Nothing. Is it promotion? No, yeah, it's actually not. We didn't know any of them. But they agreed to do it because it's just a new way to engage with people, right? If you're a blogger or somebody, you're a celebrity, you're always looking for different ways to, like, how do I hook into my fans? I'm a real person. I'm a real person to them, and they're a real person to me. And this is a really unique way for us to do that.
What's an example of like a celebrity barter that's happened?
None of them have.
Or that you would imagine could happen.
A famous musician, right? A famous musician comes on and says, hey, I'm looking for help with my nonprofit, and I'll give you a signed guitar.
So first off, I think you guys are some great initial metrics. You should be really proud. I think it's a really cool idea. To talk like pros and cons really quickly. First off, I see Every single year, there's a business that's about bartering and trading that comes out of every single launch conference, TechCrunch conference. We've seen it every year for the last 6 years. And I think some break out of the pack. The hard part is money's actually pretty efficient. Like if I want something, if I want a service like a massage or if I want a headphones, money's a pretty efficient equalizer. And it's hard to replace, 10,000 years of currency in a short period of time. And I think that's why for a lot of these challenges. One of the things I'll recommend is if right now you gain an 80% completion rate, well, there's 3 pieces of your metrics. If you gain an 80% completion rate on a 50-cent CPM, then the only other thing that you want to explain is what percentage of people that sign up actually list something. And if that's over some meaningful percentage, like 30, 40, 50, then those metrics alone you really want to focus on with investors, because that right there is a great percentage. You should be able to raise money just on those. And if you're seeing those scale, you just want to focus on those.
Yeah.
I would have loved if you shown the product. I'm kind of disappointed if you didn't. You're showing lots of slides of pictures of people and their goods, but I want to go into the product itself. And you really want to do that not only in a situation like this, but with investors. And just for some feedback, one of my first thoughts is I think you're going to run into problems if you want to have a platform that's both for services and products. And my guess is you're eventually going to go one way versus the other. And it's very complicated to try to trade products for services. Basically, then you're trading just a localized marketplace. If it's for products, are you going to guarantee the quality of the products? What's going to happen when somebody puts up something shitty and it doesn't go through, one person mails something, they don't get it? Is this only a local thing where I'm going to go to the person next door to me and I'm going to see their products? And I just think the platform for products and services is different. It's a different consumer. And I think you're going to need to narrow your focus there to continue to scale and be successful.
I think just to respond to that, that's something that we consider a lot. And what we really have found out through a good amount of marketing and user testing and everything is that people have what they have and they want what they want. And that these kind of delineations of products and services are kind of artificial ones that we as technology builders make because we're trying to categorize things. But when people actually get out into trading, they're like, hey, I've got a Burning Man ticket and I want a boyfriend, so maybe you can introduce me to a boyfriend. And that's, we're really focused on compatibility with users, right? Because it's less about is it a good or a good, and more about, hey, you have something I want, and do I have something that you want? And then matching those people together, kind of like a dating site would. And that's kind of the approach that we're taking.
One of the things you should be prepared for is if you're having success, ultimately what people are going to do here is they're going to start to list their services really as a way to get clients.
Totally.
And I don't know whether you should try to fight it or embrace it, but my biggest recommendation is there's probably about 100 people in the last 3 years, 100 companies that have tried to do just what you're doing. And I think if you really take a very close look at what's made the ones that have started to do well, Zarly, which I have on my phone, and I started using them and stopped. And then the 95+% of them that had big fanfare and raised a bunch of money and failed, you might save yourself some heartache.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.